Thank you for joining me. This is Tammy Morrison of Unleashing Your True Self, and I'm coming on here because I wanted to talk a little bit about my multi-author anthology that is coming up. So I'm speaking to my nurses. Those of you that don't know, I am an intuitive healer. However, I've been a nurse for almost 30 years. And so I got this idea to create this multi book collaboration because I want to showcase nurses. I want to showcase nurses um, and I would like to tell our stories. So I wanted to tell our stories. So, in doing that, we're doing this multi-author book collaboration. I'm super excited about it. If you are a nurse and you have been thinking about writing a book, this is the book. We're here. So I'm super excited and grateful that you have joined me today. Um, I'm looking for about 25 nurses to um, write 2,500 to 3,000 word chapters in this multi-author book collaboration because we want to bring some peace into the world. We want to share some things about life. We want to, the story is going to be about a patient or a client or customer or whatever it is that we're calling them now. One place I work, they call them guests, which I thought was crazy because, you know, they were paying, so they weren't really guests. So anyway, this is phenomenal. I just got this idea and I was like, well, what do I do with it? And so Spirit helped me to come up with this multi-author collaboration because I have stories and I have a few stories now because my idea was also to put my short stories into a short story collection. So I have some short stories already written and I wanted to definitely share about that. So let me read some from one of the stories that I wrote so that you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. When I say that, write a story that changed your life, that it was a patient that helped you change your perception, or that it changed your life in ways that, you know, may or may not have happened. You know, it might have been a patient that gave you an aha moment. You know, it might have been something that helped you to change the way that you practice, the way that you do things. You know, it might have been something to help you to understand, you know, not to complain. You know, it could be any kind of thing like that. And so this is what I'm looking for, 2,500 to 3,000 words. So if you are a nurse and you are desiring, you've been wanting to write a book and you know, but you're scared to write it by yourself and all that, well, this is a community of people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. So come join us. Um, but this is what I'm looking for. So this one is, I called it Darrow because I have patients that I've taken care of, but to be honest with you, I don't remember their names, which is probably a good thing. So they got names that I made up for. And this boy, his name is Darrow. So, Darrow, the things that you see when you're working, the people you meet and allow to touch your lives, and the lives you touch are priceless. I am so grateful for the connections that I have made and the stories I hear that touch me. One story that is unforgettable is one of a young man that I had the privilege to care for. He was an athlete and scholar who had his whole life ahead of him until one night after a football game that he won, when he was the star player. He was also on the honor roll and set to go to college on a full football and academic scholarship. In his world, everything was looking up for him. His family was so proud. He was raised in a family that loved and encouraged him every step of the way when he said he wanted to play professional football. As he was leaving the football game, he spun out into traffic and, unbeknownst to him, into the path of an oncoming truck. The truck did not see him in time to stop. However, when he did, he stood on his brakes to do what he could to get the truck to stop. It was too late. He plowed right into Daryl's car. Daryl didn't even see it coming. And right at that point, his life was changed forever. It was not far from the school, so many of the fans and players witnessed the accident. The sight that they revealed was brutal as Daryl was in a small sports car and the truck that demolished his car was a 350. Now in truck speak, a 350 is a huge pickup with a huge engine. The first responder on the scene was so horrified. He worked so hard to get the door that pinned Daryl into the car open. It looked like he was going to need some oxygen. As more and more responders showed up, they worked tirelessly to get the door open to free the football player from the death grip. After what seemed like an indeterminable amount of time, they were finally able to set Daryl free from the car wreckage trap. It was a miracle that he was still breathing and smiling. This is what I noticed about Daryl when I had him as a patient. Despite all the challenges that he encountered, he still had that amazing smile and positive attitude. A rare find in these type of cases, and even rarer knowing the outcome of his injuries. I met him at a rehab hospital after he was stabilized at a trauma center. He was a jokester who loved to make people laugh. It seemed that this was an amazing coping mechanism. Instead of wallowing in despair, he found a way to move into a happy space. Daryl was so encouraging to the other patients who were not in as bad a physical condition that we knew he was a special kid with a definite calling on his life. As he recovered and began to get the full extent of his injury, he realized that he was not going to live his dream to play football. Daryl took it like a champ and made a joke about it. He told us he wanted to see how the other half lived, the handy capable. He still planned to go to college and he said he would find some type of sport he could do. He wanted to major in IT, some sort of computer major. As his body healed to the level that it would, he realized that he was going to be a paraplegic, which meant that he would not be able to walk without assistance. Though he took this news well, being the determined young man that he was made him think he was going to walk again. Daryl was convinced he would walk again, however, not play football. As much of an inspiration as he was, Daryl had his moments of reckoning when he was alone at night. He was having to have people help him with his most basic needs, and this bothered him when he was alone. He thought about it in a way that made him wonder what the future holds for him. Daryl couldn't help but think about how he may need help for the rest of his life. He considered those feelings while no one was around in the dark. By day, he was encouraging, positive, and looking at the best. These are the times when I would go in his room and, under the guise of doing something medical for him, I knew he needed someone to talk to that wasn't judging him for being human. He always put on a strong persona to that wasn't judging him for being human. Oh, he always put on a strong persona and felt the need to be strong for everyone around him. He would share the dreams that he used to have prior to the accident, dreams that involved playing football in the NFL. He would talk about the things he did not share with many people. I felt privileged to be one of the people that he could open up to and share those dreams closest to his heart. He knew he wouldn't be able to play football again. However, he hoped he could have a family. He came from a good, loving, caring family, and he had visions of having the same. All right, so that is one of the stories that I wrote about one of the amazing patients that I had. And so these are the type of stories that I'm looking for this multi-author book collaboration. So you've had dreams and visions, you've been wanting to be creative, you know you can write, you've been wanting to write, but you've been stuck inside of facilities and, behind computer medical paperwork and all kinds of stuff. And so now, this is an opportunity for you to be creative, for you to open up and show me what you got. This is an opportunity for you to get your name out there as a published author. I'm super excited to be able to bring this opportunity forth. So, you want to be a published author. You want to be able to, get your name out there. You want to be able to be creative, because most of the time in medical you can't. I mean, you got to do what the people tell you to do, and it's just this. And so, this is an opportunity for you to be creative and just get your name out there and just do the things. So I'm super excited and grateful to be able to be on here just chatting it up with you and sharing um, about this multi-author book collaboration. Because the thing is, it is so amazing. So I'm gonna read a little bit from my story, from my collaboration that I did, which was amazing. Unchain Me Mama. Okay, there it is. So this one is called On Loving My Mom. So my scripture was Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:10. My mama's story is not one of tragedy. My story is one of forgiveness, transformation, and healing. I had to make up my mind to present this story, and I also consulted my mother because I felt she had a right to know, and she is aware of the way I felt about her for some time. Even though I knew it was the right thing to do, I had to find it in my heart to forgive her and allow her to be human, not just my mom. And it was still a process. Over the years, my mom and I experienced what I call a tumultuous relationship, which I truly believe made me become the woman I am, a don't take no shit adventurer. My mother was 18 years old when I was born. She was young and in love with my father, but they weren't together because she went to live with her family once she had me. My grandparents were an essential part of my life, as is common to many children born to teen moms. To me, my grandmother was my sun and my moon. We had the world is going on. Oh. A special relationship. She was there for me while my mom went to nursing school, and so I had all the love I thought I needed. I secretly wished that she was my mom and treated her as such most of the time. In retrospect, this could possibly be the reason there was a disconnect between my mom and me. Once my mom finished school, we moved to Connecticut with my father to give him and my mom a chance to be together and us to be a family. There are two types of young loves, the one that works out and the one that doesn't. Their young love did not work out. Mom says she tried as hard as she could to maintain a relationship with my father, but she was without success. We moved back in with my grandparents in Georgia, which was fine with me. Living with my grandparents, I knew I was loved. My grandmother sensed that I was special, and as I have been called peculiar, so she protected me against people who would take advantage of me because I had a pure heart and loved to help people. My mother, however, seemed bitter and anti men. She refused to talk about my father at all. It was as if she just erased him out of our family picture. Being a sensitive spiritual child, I just didn't understand. Now I have a very few memories of that time, and I believe that I selectively blocked out memories that may have been painful. People do it all the time as a coping mechanism. Well, as time would have it, my mother found her current husband, my dad. It was an amazing love story that can be shared at another time, but suffice it to say that she loved him and he loved her. There was no shortage of love in my life, so there was never a problem. That was never a problem for me. But I think a deeper disconnect formed because my mother didn't heal from her previous heartbreak, and I feel like it was taken out on me. It looked like my father, which may have caused her to have some disdain for me. I think through some of my ways, I reminded her of him. He was a free spirit, and so am I. Being a free spirit, I was not a child that worried about anything. Even though my mom had remarried, she still carried a grudge against men, and she made sure I knew that men were not to be trusted. Really, no one was to be trusted. I didn't realize it then, but during this time, I began to develop issues with trust that I'm now resolving through much inner healing work. I did don't say this because I want people to feel sorry for me, but because I believe that my mother did what she thought was right, and it made me the strong woman I am today. I share this to let you know how easy it is to affect your children in ways you probably are not aware of. All right, so that is part of my story in Unchain Me Mama. So it was part of my anthology story. And y'all know what? That is one of the most amazing experiences that I have had in my life. So if this is something that is speaking to you and you are listening to me and I'm talking to you, then reach out, send me a message. Let's connect. We're going to talk. We'll have about 10-15 minute conversation just so that I can explain what the project is and you can let me know if you're interested, and then we'll roll on from there. I mean, it's going to be pretty good, seamless. The process that I went through was amazing, and so that is the process that I am taking anybody that joins me through, because I feel like it's an amazing process, and the process to become a writer is going to be just awesome. So if that's something that you've been looking at and it's been on your bucket list, you've been saying, I am a writer, I'm supposed to be writing or whatever, you don't know what kind of doors this thing can open for you. You don't know. It can open all kinds of doors for you, especially if you are looking and you are ready. All right, so thank you so much for hanging out with me, for joining me here on YouTube. It has been a pleasure. And like I said, if you are wanting to come on and join me in this multi-author book collaboration, join me. Um, you're not going to be alone. Like I said, you'll be in company of 25 people, other people. Will also, it's going to be beautiful, you'll get definite instructions. You're not going to be, left outside in the cold by yourself. Um, all that, all that, all that. So definitely check me out if that's something that you have been looking for. It's been on your radar. You've been thinking about it, or you've been seeing all these people come up with multi-book collaborations. Because there's a lot. That's like a big thing right now, and it's good. I really like it. To be honest with you, um, I want to be a part of a few. So that's kind of why one reason why I did this one, because I was like, that's something that I enjoy, because I liked being able to just write the story. It's like now I'm finishing a whole nother book. I'm writing a book about my grandmother, and so that's a whole nother thing when you're doing it by yourself. But when you have people and you have a community, and a collection of people, is so much better. And then the thing is you can also, you know, reach out to people. You can connect to people. You can say, hey, I'm having a little path, path, path. Which I don't see why you should have an empath with 2,500 words, because that's really not a lot. Because the words what I just read just now were almost 1,000, and I'm not even done with the story. so, so I don't know how you could do it, but people do it all the time. But if that's something, or if you feel like you need accountability partner, that's one thing that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking that maybe I would we would assign accountability partners. This way, you have somebody that you can reach out to and touch, and say, hey, I'm struggling with this, and maybe even, and this would be something that would help, because it's going to get done. We're going to get this thing done. I'm super excited about it, and I cannot wait. So if you are looking for that, make sure you reach out. If you know some people, because we all know people. So if you know some people that, you that want to do that, or you heard them talk about it, or you've been at work and they say, oh, I would love to write a book, let them know. Give them the message. And you can private message me here if they need to email me or whatever. Um, definitely send me a message and I'll send you the email, however, because I know there are a lot of people that have left social media and stuff like that, and I can understand that completely. So there are a lot of people I know that have done that. So if that is somebody, like, somebody, and this is something they want to do, but they'll never see it because it's on social media, make sure that you give them my information. Send them my information, and connect me with them. And if they want like an email or something like that, we can do that. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been real. We'll do it again tomorrow because that's how that's going to go. So, talk to you soon. If you are a nurse and you are wanting to jump into this multi-book collaboration project, make sure that you comment below or send me a message on whatever platform. I'm on Instagram at I am Tammy Y Morrison. I am on Clubhouse as Tammy Morrison, or I think Intuitive Tammy or something. I'm on LinkedIn as Tammy Morrison, Unleashing Your True Self. I'm on Facebook as Unleashing Your True Self, or Tammy Morrison, or Unleash Your Inner Author, something like, yeah, I think it's Unleash Your Inner Author. But you can get me on my personal profile, Tammy Morrison. You can get me on Twitter at Tammy Morrison 16. Where else am I? I am on Telegram. I think it's Tammy Morrison. Um, you can go on my website, unleashingyourtrueself.com, or I think it's tammymorrison.com. Yeah. So there's all kind of ways you can get to me. Whatever way however you do. Again, this is Tammy Morrison. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Make sure, like I said, share it. Share it and let some people, see it. And if they want to come and join me, if they're a nurse and they would like to write in a multi-author collaboration, send them to me. We'll get this done because I'm so super excited and pumped to share this, because this is like, oh my God. It's like a dream come true, y'all. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. And we'll have a good day. And I will see you all on tomorrow.